Okay, welcome back. We been up to a bunch of no good as usual, cleaning and whatnot. But as much as you clean, it always gets messy. Managed to get the old Dodge cleaned up, fired up, and out the door. There's quite to do on that. I had some issues with my pilot bushing, of course. Not so much installing it, but just about um, the size and ordering it. When it came in, it seemed to be just 1/8 of an inch out. So got my old hand file out, polished her up a bit, and then slapped her in, and away we went. This is a bit difficult to install the transmission without the alignment tool, but none the least, the alignment tool isn't always necessary. I've actually never used the alignment tool ever, and I do have a cheap one, which doesn't really even do the job. So in Canada here we have Princess Auto, kind of like a Harbor Freight, but in Canada it's Princess Auto or Canadian Tire. You can get one of these cheap universal kits for aligning your clutch. Now it isn't the greatest, but it works. On a second-hand clutch or used flywheel, normally you'll have a mark of where the old clutch was, so it's kind of easy to set it. If you didn't get it resurfaced, normally you're supposed to have it resurfaced, but I never resurfaced mine. It was still pretty good. I just gave it the old hand file, and away we went, put her in, and it seems to be going okay. I'll do a little video on that coming up, but today I want to do a plastic repair video. Anybody knows what these are? Growing up, I only ever seen them on the job, the pipeline jobs. It is a jeeping stick. Pipeline is coated with plastic, and in the joints where they weld it, they have these sticks here, and they can bring up the plastic coating wherever need be, where it was not protected due to welding process or any kind of repair. They can coat the pipes with this here plastic. It's pretty flexible, which is really nice when you're doing a repair on your fenders, such as what I'm doing here on this old vintage 1990 now. It's a 1990, so it'd be 32 years old roughly, and it's a DT200R. It is the last of the street legal 2-stroke dirt bikes. It is a pro crossover bike. And this here plastic had a couple of cracks in it. I don't know, you can see here. I didn't do the greatest of repair job of lining up the plastic. But as you can see here, just on a quick couple of dabs, it is by far holding up and flexible. Both ways. Flexible. On this old 32-year-old dirt bike cover, side cover. Now, if you can see, the little stitches I did, they're not the greatest, but I'm just doing this with a normal lighter and a stick, kind of like a take process or a brazing process, but with plastic, and it works fairly not bad. So if I set the old camera down here to show you a bit of how I'm doing this. It's real simple. Really simple. Now, if I had a torch, which you don't have, you could hold it and let it drip. As it gets hot, it will drip. And you can basically take a crack. Pretty nice. And it dries fairly quick. And it is really strong, actually. Alright. Just like TIG welding, but with plastic. You can see here, that time was a little better. I did the whole drip. Now, when I was messing around earlier, I just got it hot and kind of dabbed it, and that didn't really work that good. It does, but kind of like the old drip process better. Like the pure melted plastic, I feel that it bonds a little bit better. If you took an 80 grit sandpaper or a 40 and you just kind of scratch it up a bit to give it some grooves for the plastic to bond to each other, it'd probably help, because you could almost rub this off. Almost rub it off after. It's still pretty malleable after. So it is permanent repair as well as easy to remove. If you messed up or wanted to do it again or had a different crack in a different area that protruded into an existing crack and you wanted to fix it up, or if you had a gap like this and you really didn't like it, you could probably peel this off and do it again. And it's really strong. Like, again, you can see I'm bending it, like, and I don't want to break the plastics, but you can see, like, this is, oh, I like this one to crack here on the corner. Obviously, you can see, peeling this off now. So it is a good repair, as well as kind of weak, but it's better than drilling 10,000 holes and stitching into your, look at here, we don't have much holding this little piece on here, so I'm gonna do the old TIG weld here for demonstration. Plastic TIG weld with a jeeping stick. I'm not exactly the pro, don't know the exact name of this, but I would imagine that it's a coating for pipeline. It's some kind of pipelining material that they use. I never ever seen it ever before unless it was on the pipeline job. And then a couple of weeks back, I went to my local parts store, Bumper to Bumper Supply, and they had these on the counter, and I couldn't believe it. I was asked, yeah, you actually sell these? And they said, yeah. And about time, because they work amazing for repairing plastic. And I will show you how quick and easy and it is. If they sell these in different colors, they would make a killing. Because then you could do the top side. But this here, you can almost get it perfect where you can't see the crack. And it'd be probably better with a torch to heat this plastic. I got a pretty good run going here now that it's hot. It's running right down, making a nice bead-like plastic welding. This what they call a jeeping stick. Commonly used on the pipeline. Now, trying to do a cute little bead here for the video. Ta-da! Cute little bead. Just like cool a bit. A little better than that old spudgy stuff there that I did. Just a cute. Well, that's pretty hard. It's really hard. Now, you know, if I V'd out the crack a bit, and just kind of gouge a little bit of a V, a little notch in the crack a bit. If you had a little groove, it'd probably fill in the crack a bit and give it that welding bond. And here's the outside. There you go. Crack that is like almost impossible to see. You can know what? That's pretty strong. Yep. Yep. This one's right on the edge. This crack here. So it's a little difficult to repair in the first place. But I like the looks of this nice tiny bead, but I think I would go again on each side just to give it that extra bonding surface area and for rigidity, because it is a flexible material, but you just want to have enough on there, and it's not gonna peel off like you would think. It's pretty strong. I had this on a repair on a bike that I really beat for a long time, and I would peel the one side off to get to the battery and boost it like daily, and the piece would go through tons of abuse, and it held up just fine. And yeah, so that's just a trick to repairing plastics. Quick and easy, 5-minute job, and it is fairly cosmetically safe, considering of all the ways to repair your plastics. Like, you could jam a whole bunch of fiberglass on here, but you know the color's not going to be the same and everything like that. So, like, you know, it ain't the world of amazing, but it's gonna be strong, just as strong as plastic is. It's plastic. It's like a welding process, so it's pretty neat way to bond the two together. Like, it's just a little tiny little bead, you know, this size, not even a pencil, you know, just a little bit bigger than a wire. Okay, there's just a little bit of plastic holding that crack on there, and it's pretty tight. That's, like I said, I'm gonna do it one more time on this side and this side just to give it that extra strength. You're just basically dropping melted plastic on plastic. There's no warpage, no damaging in the material, and like I said, you can pretty much rip it off after if you don't like it. I'll like do some of the stuff that I don't like and rip it off. So there you go. Instead of drilling holes into a plastic that you are trying to save, although the stitch look kind of looks cool sometimes, like a little Mad Max style Freddy Krueger look to it, but this is about as clean as it's gonna get for a 5-minute $2 plastic weld. If only they had them in the same colors as the plastics, that'd be pretty cool, because you could go over top and potentially maybe sand that down a bit and maybe get it to be perfect. I guess it's so hard to get plastic perfect, but if you had a heat gun, you could probably get it to give it the melted smooth finish just by melting the surface down with the heat gun. It'd probably give it that perfect look. Be cool. Yeah, I don't know. This is just a good stuff, fun stuff to play with. That's it. I'm out. Jeeping sticks, pipeline, plastic, welding, random jokes. Peace out.